Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, Chapter 7, the Lord's Tour of South India, text 114. While at this place, Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was in his usual ecstasy of love of Godhead and was laughing, crying, dancing, and chanting. Everyone who saw him was astonished. After hearing of these wonderful occurrences, everyone came to see him there. When they saw the beauty of the Lord and his ecstatic condition, they were all struck with wonder. Just by seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a devotee. They began to chant Krishna and Hare and all the holy names. They all were merged in a great ecstasy of love, and they began to dance, raising their arms. Always hearing them chant the holy names of Lord Krishna, the residents of all other villages also became Vaishnavas. By hearing the holy name of Krishna, the entire country became Vaishnav. It was as if the nectar of the holy name of Krishna overflooded the entire country. After some time, when Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu manifested his external consciousness, a priest of the Lord Kurma deity gave him various offerings. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's mode of preaching has already been explained, and I shall not repeat the explanation. In whichever village the Lord entered, his behavior was the same. In one village there was a Vedic Brahmana named Kurma. He invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home with great respect and devotion. This Brahmana brought Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home, washed his lotus feet, and with his family members drank that water. With great affection and respect, that Kurma Brahmana made Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu eat all kinds of food. After that, the remnants were shared by all the family members of the family. The Brahmana then began to pray, "O my Lord, your lotus feet are meditated upon by Lord Brahma, and these very lotus feet have come into my home. My dear Lord, there is no limit to my great fortune. It cannot be described. Today my family, birth, and riches have all been glorified." The Brahmana begged Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "My dear Lord, kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I can no longer tolerate the waves of misery caused by materialistic life." Purport. This statement is applicable for everyone, regardless of how rich or prosperous one may be. Narottam Das Thakur has confirmed this statement. Sangsara Vishanale, Diva Nishi Hiya Jwale. He states that the materialistic way of life causes a burning in the heart. One cannot make any provisions for the troublesome life of the material world. It is a fact that one may be very happy as far as riches are concerned, and one may be very opulent in every respect, yet one has to manage the Vishayas to meet the demands of the body and of so many family members and subordinates. One has to take so much trouble to minister to others. Narottam Das Thakur therefore prays, Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Habe Man. Thus one must become freed from the materialistic way of life. One has to merge himself into the ocean of transcendental bliss. In other words, one cannot relish transcendental bliss without being freed from the materialistic way of life. It appears that the Brahmana named Kurma was materially very happy, for he expressed his family tradition as Janma Kul Dan. Now being glorious, he wanted to leave all these material opulences. He wanted to travel with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. According to the Vedic way of civilization, one should leave his family after attaining 50 years of age and go to the forest of Vrindavan to devote the rest of his life to service of the Lord. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu replied, "Don't speak like this again. Better to remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always." Purport. It is not advisable in this age of Kali to leave one's family suddenly, for people are not trained as proper brahmacharis and grihastas. Therefore, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu advised the Brahmana not to be very eager to give up family life. It would be better to remain with his family and try to become purified by chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahā-mantra regularly, under the direction of a spiritual master. This is the instruction of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. If this principle is followed by everyone, there is no need to accept sannyas. In the next verse, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu advises everyone to become an ideal householder by offenselessly chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra and teaching the same principle to everyone he meets. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Śrī Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad-gītā and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. Purport: this is the sublime mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Many people come and inquire whether they have to give up family life to join the society. But that is not our mission. One can remain comfortably in his residence. We simply request everyone to chant the mahā-mantra, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. If one is a little literate and can read Bhagavad-gītā as it is and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, that is so much the better. These works are now available in an English translation and are done very authoritatively to appeal to all classes of men. Instead of living engrossed in material activities, people throughout the world should take advantage of this movement and chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahā-mantra at home with their families. One should also refrain from sinful activities, illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. Out of these 4 items, illicit sex is very sinful. Every person must get married. Every woman especially must get married. If the women outnumber the men, some men can accept more than one wife. In that way, there will be no prostitution in society. If men can marry more than one wife, illicit sex will be stopped. One can also produce many nice preparations to offer Krishna: grain, fruit, flowers, and milk. Why should one indulge in unnecessary meat eating and maintain horrible slaughterhouses? What is the use of smoking and drinking tea and coffee? People are already intoxicated by material enjoyment, and if they indulge in further intoxication, what chance is there for self-realization? Similarly, one should not partake in gambling and unnecessarily agitate the mind. The real purpose of human life is to attain the spiritual platform and return to Godhead. That is the summum bonum of spiritual realization. The Krishna consciousness movement is trying to elevate human society to the perfection of life by pursuing the method described by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu in his advice to the Brahmana Kurma. That is, one should stay at home, chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, and preach the instructions of Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad-gītā and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu further advised the Brahmana Kurma, if you follow this instruction, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. Indeed, if you follow these regulative principles, we will again meet here, or rather, you will never lose my company. Purport: this is an opportunity for everyone. If one simply follows the instructions of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu under the guidance of his representative and chants the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, teaching everyone as far as possible the same principle, the contamination of the materialistic way of life will not even touch him. It does not matter whether one lives in a holy place like Vrindavan, Navadvip, or Jagannath Puri, or in the midst of European cities, where the materialistic way of life is very prominent. If a devotee follows the instructions of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, he lives in the company of the Lord. Wherever he lives, he converts that place into Vrindavan and Navadvip. This means that materialism cannot touch him. This is the secret of success for one advancing in Krishna consciousness. Text 130. At whosoever's house Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu accepted his alms by taking prasadam, he would convert the dwellers to his Sankirtan movement and advise them just as he advised the Brahmana named Kurma. Purport. The cult of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is explained here very nicely. One who surrenders to him and is ready to follow him with heart and soul does not need to change his location, nor is it necessary for one to change his status. One may remain a householder, a medical practitioner, an engineer, or whatever. It doesn't matter. One only has to follow the instruction of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahā-mantra, and instruct relatives and friends in the teachings of the Bhagavad-gītā and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. One has to learn humility and meekness at home, following the instructions of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and in that way one's life will be spiritually successful. One should not try to be an artificially advanced devotee thinking, I am a first-class devotee. Such thinking should be avoided. It is best not to accept any disciples. One has to become purified at home by chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa mahā-mantra and preaching the principles enunciated by Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Thus one can become a spiritual master and be freed from the contamination of material life. There are many sahajas who decry the activities of the six Goswamis, Srila Rupa, Sanatan, Raghunath Das, Bhatta Raghunath Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis, who are the personal associates of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and who enlightened society by writing books on devotional service. Similarly, Narottam Das Thakur and other great acharyas like Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and others accepted many thousands of disciples to induce them to render devotional service. However, there is a class of sahajas who think that these activities are opposed to the principles of devotional service. Indeed, they consider such activities simply another phase of materialism. Thus, opposing the principles of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, they commit offenses at his lotus feet. They should better consider his instructions and, instead of seeking to be considered humble and meek, should refrain from criticizing the followers of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu who engage in preaching. To protect his preachers, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has given much clear advice in these verses of Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. While on his tour, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu would spend the night at a temple or on the roadside. Whenever he accepted food from a person, he would give him the same advice he gave the Brahmana named Kurma. He adopted this process until he returned to Jagannath Puri from his South India tour. Yes? You require a microphone? Could somebody cough one up?
Okay. I was just going to bring it up because there's quite a different statement here in the purport. There was a change in the statement. So in the last purport to text 130, it says, one should not try to be an artificially advanced devotee thinking, I am a first-class devotee, so it is best not to accept any disciples. Such thinking should be avoided. That was...
It was the opposite.
Yeah, in yours it was basically, it said,
this is the older version, and when it was reviewed...
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll read the one from here, and then you read it, so everyone gets the idea of how they missed it on the first one. Because obviously it sounds as you get a whiplash when you go from one paragraph to the next, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he said...
one should not
try to be an artificially advanced devotee thinking I am a first-class devotee. Such thinking should be avoided. It is best not to accept any disciples.
Mm-hmm. And then this one says, one should not try to be an artificially advanced devotee thinking, I am a first-class devotee, so it is best not to accept any disciples. Such thinking should be avoided.
Slightly different. Right? Then it lines up with the next paragraph. Because it's talking about the sahajas who say, oh, we don't do anything like that because we're so humble. Whereas actual humility was exhibited by Arjuna, who went out and fought and took risk on behalf of Krishna to fight the war. So those who take Lord Chaitanya's instruction to go everywhere, everyone you meet, and make your life an example and become a representative. And don't think you're not being humble by following the instruction, because the opposite of saying I'm too humble to do any of that is the opposite of humility, not following Lord Chaitanya's instruction. We'll finish with a little kirtan. Does that sound okay? Hare Hare.